Hey, it's Sean from Sean's DIY and Reviews, and today I'm going to show you the things that you're going to want to do prior to starting changing the oil on your car. So I have my hood up already. So the first thing you want to do is you want to run the engine and make sure you get it warm. This way the oil gets to mix around the engine, it heats up, gets a little bit thinner, makes it easier to drain. Let's talk about the other things you need to do. The next thing you want to definitely do before you get started is make sure you know the right oil on your vehicle and get the right oil. So here in my vehicle, it's a 5W20. You definitely want to use the oil that it says to use. And here I have high mileage, full synthetic. Costs a little bit more for the synthetic. My car has about 75,000 miles, which is perfect for this oil, not too expensive. It says it'll go 10,000 miles, but I still change mine about every 5,000 miles. The next thing you're going to want to make sure is you get the oil filter that's made for your vehicle. And in my case, I decided to go with the Super Tech as well. It's a Walmart brand, but it works perfectly well. This says you can use this for 20,000 miles, but I recommend changing the filter every time you change the oil. Some people say every second time. I think that's a mistake. For the cost, $3 or $4, change it every single time. The next thing you want to do is find out where your oil filter is. In the case of my Dodge Journey, it's up here on the top. There's a cover here, which I took off, and right there is the filter inside that cover right there. Another thing you might want to do when you're going to run the engine, if you have higher mileage or you do a lot of around the town driving, I'm not necessarily recommending, but another thing you might want to do, and I do, is throw in some motor flush, run it for about 5 minutes. Don't drive with this stuff. Follow the instructions on it if you choose to use it. But you can use something like this, put it in the engine, heat it up for about 5 minutes prior to changing your oil. You can get a lot of sludge and stuff out. So, again, put it into where your engine oil fill is, run the vehicle for about 5 minutes. Another thing that you're going to need when you're going to change your oil on your own is ramps. So as you can see right here, I have my vehicle up on ramps, and the purpose of that is so that I can get more clearance to get myself under the vehicle. And as long as you're up on the ramps well, it's better than jacks because really can't fall anywhere, but might be worth using a jack as well. And then the next thing you need to do is get under your vehicle and find where the oil drain is going to be. Okay, so you're going to go under here. And I've already looked for it. It's over on this side, but make sure that you know where it is. Again, after running the vehicle for 5 minutes, give it about 10 minutes or so to cool off before you go under here and crack the bolt, drain the oil. The other thing you're gonna need is some rubber gloves to keep your hands clean. And of course, you're gonna need some paper towels and an oil catch can. After you fill your oil catch can, these are inexpensive, $7, $10 maybe. Once the oil flow down below kind of stops, you let it run for a little bit more, plug the plug down below, and then it's time for you to fill your oil back up. You'll want a funnel in order to do that, and if you don't have a funnel, you can take a soda bottle, cut the top off of it, stick that in here, make sure it's clean, and then fill your clean oil back into the engine. Make sure you know how many quarts the engine takes. If it's say 4 or 4.5 quarts, then you don't want to pour this whole 5 quart. Also, if it takes 5 quarts, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll first fill about 4 quarts, 4.5 quarts, run the engine, turn it off, have it level, let it cool off, and then check the dipstick again to see my level to make sure I am where I need to be. Right now I have and we'll do that once the engine's actually cool to make sure that our oil is where we need it to be. So it's really that easy to change your oil and very inexpensive. So if you can get a deal where you can bring the car in and get it done for cheap, sometimes if it can be cheaper than actually doing it yourself, then maybe it makes sense. Make sure you get the right oil in there, good quality oil, and do it every 3,000 to 5,000 miles, and your car should run for a long time really well. So I hope this was helpful. If so, give it a thumbs up, helps the video, and we'll see you in the next one.